Oh, now he's gonna be all shy. He was having a brilliant moment.
I want to go back and do the math on the pig math.
Oh, he wants to do pig math.
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your pig math on?
Well, basically to see what the expense versus the return could be on them.
Okay.
To the level that we're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually done that yet.
Well, we've kind of talked about it, but we haven't actually wrote it down in hardcore, definite this is right. We've just hypothetically talked, I think. Anyways, we're on our way back to water the sheep. Chris is unfortunately having to carry all the water. He's a strong man. Yeah, we're going back to water the sheep, and we figured we might get some more apples at the same time. We did pick apples this morning when we took the sheep back. Haven't done anything with those yet for the ones we picked for applesauce or canning or whatever. But unfortunately, it's very, very, very windy today, and I bet tons of them have fallen off again. So we're gonna go and pick more, and then hopefully we'll do something with them.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. As I bump into you.
Gardening.
And we have a whole whack load of gardening to do. We want to pull stuff out of the beds. We have squash and a whole bunch of stuff that's got to come out so that we can empty out the potato buckets into those beds. Then we have to put, we've got broccoli and cabbage and kale to plant in those, which hopefully we're going to devise some way to cover them because we're very late as usual, and we want to have them well into the winter time for the bunnies. You girls coming for a drink? See? It's beautiful and windy out here again. Stars first. I do like the sheep. They can be annoying as heck, but I do like them. It's very windy out here today. Makes it very nice though. Garbage for filming. Ready to go pick some apples? Yeah. This morning when we checked, it was a lot of apples on the ground. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be a lot of apples. Look at that tree over there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Where is it? That tree right there. Beautiful. On the to-do list.
Picking some of these windfall apples for pigs because we've been kind of feeding them a fair number of them.
They love them.
They do, but in the future, the nice part of it is, like, I don't know if we pan around and see how many are here.
And this is with the sheep out here.
Yeah, the sheep aren't really big on them. They eat a few, but pigs will hopefully really help with our orchard.
Yeah,
to kind of control
waste, orchard waste.
Yeah.
Because the pigs will eventually be pastured out here this time of year.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So Chris is going to work on this tree, which basically all the apples have fallen off of so far. And I'm heading over. This one's got a few little ones for some crabapple jelly, but we're not working on that right now. We're focusing on applesauce and juice. So I'm going to this tree, which has some big, gorgeous ones that are still up there. But basically, as the wind comes, there they are. So I'm going to get picking on that. I already picked a bucket from this morning, and I think I'd get another bucket for sure. So, better get busy. Now that right there is a beautiful apple off this tree that I just mentioned. This is why we're out here. This has become priority over top of fencing even. Getting, for the short term, getting apples. Super excited about this. Super excited about this. And like I said, everything's gone to the back.
Lots of apples today. And there's still quite a few of them on the tree. And here's the sheep in the apple orchard. It's amazing when they basically have unlimited food, how quiet they are.
Look at that beautiful pile. Minus this one that I just picked, but
It's pretty good.
I know. And they're nice and big.
I got 2 buckets, but my buckets are just for pigs.
That's all right. Pigs and bunnies. Everybody's happy.
It's interesting, the like Lila's eating one there, an apple, but I'd say they're not huge fans of them. They don't, there's a lot of apples back here and they're not eating much.
They're doing the textbook take one bite and then leave it.
Yeah, and walk on to the next thing. Which I suppose is good because they're self-limiting or self-regulating.
Speaking of one bite, we need to try this.
That's a good one.
Red Delicious. Try it. I would say it tastes like a Red Delicious apple. Skin's not quite as hard though.
Kinda looks like it's probably partially one. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's Red Delicious tasting. Thank you. I suppose we should get to work. It's nice back here though.
Yeah, it's a good temperature. It's really hot today, so even the sheep are taking advantage of the shade. So we're back at the raised beds, and first 2 orders of business, I guess, are one, on this trellis here, this is our red cranberry beans. They're not all dry, but I would say probably, from the looks of it, half of them are dry enough to pick, so I'm probably going to do that before they get...
It's supposed to start raining tomorrow evening and rain a lot this week, so better to get what you can off just in case.
Yeah, we'll take them in and we can shell them later, but then the other job is to rip out all of this yellow crooked neck squash, because they are pretty much done. We may get
to use the beds.
Yeah, we're going to, after we get this ripped out, we're going to start harvesting some more potatoes out of our potato buckets and sort of see how that goes, and add that soil to this bed. So that's one of our squash that we let go to seed. This year, the only Cubra Peppo, I think is the scientific name, variety we grew were these yellow crooked necks, so that we really didn't have to do any extra work. It was just plant them, grow them, take the seeds out, and no crossing. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do that work. So while I've been taking potatoes out of buckets, Stephanie's planted, I forget what kind of cabbage this is, but we started some cabbages. Is it price head? Yeah, might be price head. Anyways, we started some cabbages earlier this year. Kind of forgot about them in the house under our grow lights. Every now and then we'd notice they need water, but in anticipation of planting a fall crop, it may be too late. We'll see what happens with these. So they're in the ground, and we've got a little bit more broccoli to do the same with, and again, just sort of see what happens with it. In this jungle over here, this kale we planted out, what, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And they were quite little, and they've just rocketed. So it's good news. So we're probably, when these eggplants are pretty much on their way out, probably should rip a couple of them out, but we'll probably add some more soil to that bed and maybe plant some more kale next to this kale. So we're basically at the end of another day, right before we do chores, and anyways, here's sort of our harvest, I guess. A couple of different things from today. We've obviously got our potatoes in the middle, which bit of a sneak peek at that, I suppose. Got quite a few apples that we harvested. These are actually quite good apples. We're going to make some applesauce or pie filling or both or something like that out of them. We've got about half of our red cranberry pole beans harvested, so they're a dry bean. The rest are almost ready, but we're going to give them another little bit on the vines before we pick them. And then in the back there, we've got our seed squash for our yellow crooked-neck summer squash, and some really nice red Russian kale that we're going to have a kale salad with tonight. So anyways, all in all, not a bad afternoon's worth of harvest, and we even managed to get a little bit of work done in the garden as opposed to just the harvest. So on that note, we're going to run and do chores, and yeah, that's going to be our next thing.